say, hey guys, it's Klaus. Welcome back for another episode. Kabouter Wesley in his FV215B. Look at this British beauty, rear-mounted heavy tank, which is unavailable now because it's been removed. And now there's a Russian rear-mounted heavy tank that's a lot better in the game. There they are, side by side. The object, whatever the fuck. I can't remember which object it is, but it's one of the objects. And I guess that's probably one of the reasons that this British rear-mounted heavy has been removed. Because why have another nation that has a good rear-mounted heavy tank? Well, I guess the Germans still have one, Tier 9. Oh, and Tier 10. Hey, the Germans got one. How come the Brits don't get one? I don't know. But this is not about the objects in the game. Object here, object there, everywhere an object. This is about the British tanks. And I have been known to make fun of British tanks in this game from time to time. And it's time to give back and highlight 2 games in which British tanks dominate. And it is true that I have made fun of British tanks in this game. In the past, ridiculed the British medium line when the British medium line was slower than the SPG line. But it was buffed, and they used to be slow and pathetic, and now they've been buffed. Their speed has, and they're kind of fast and pathetic. The SPG line used to be faster than the medium line. All those early low-tier SPGs that have no range, so you have to drive in amongst the enemies to try and use your SPG. You know, that was a lot of fun. But who plays SPGs? The TD line, the assault tank line, the British assault tank line. All of them slow, lumbering, pathetic behemoths with tiny little pencil guns. We used to be able to grind that line and get the Death Star, but that's been removed. So now you can get the Badger or the Gerbil or whatever. Another slow... Wait a minute, this isn't about British bashing. This is about highlighting the British tanks. But we haven't bashed the heavy tanks yet. The heavy tanks, which are all crap, but now you can grind the heavy line and get up to the Super Conqueror, which I hate because it's slow. Can't stand that thing. It's good when you have good teammates, but when do you ever have good teammates? Well, look at that. He loaded the Hesh and shot the cupola of that T110E3. The Hesh, the secret weapon. He did 100 damage with the first shot, and now he's got the HE. HE. Let's see. The HE from the big gun. We just dinged them. It's hard not to make fun of the British tanks. Hesh! Let me shoot Hesh at you. We didn't even scratch him. I thought Hesh was supposed to be like HE with higher penetration and a lot of damage. So no matter who you hit, you'll do something. Unless you hit some armor and then you do nothing. So why the fuck have Hesh? But wait a minute. This isn't about British bashing. This is about highlighting the British tank. This tank's been removed. And look at this. It's basically him and the object, whatever the fuck there, the other rear-mounted guy, the rear-mounted heavy. It's them two versus almost everyone. And this is where it gets good. And when the getting gets tough, the Brits get good. Or something like that. Well, let's watch this, okay? Let's actually watch the game now and enjoy this FV215B. The one thing this had was a fantastic gun and fantastic DPM, actually. Hard-hitting, rear-mounted turret so you can side-scrape. And when no one's paying any attention to you, well, they are, but they're bouncing on him because he's side-scraping like a boss. This big guy here is not paying any attention to it, but why not bounce on the side of the Type 5 heavy turret? Well, look at this. He's side-scraping. It's him, and it's the object, whatever the fuck. There's 2 of them side-scraping, and they've held off this onslaught. He is doing a fantastic job here. He hit the side of that IS-7, but of course didn't penetrate. He tracked them, but he did not penetrate. He shot the track wheel, but alas, the track absorbed that powerful British shell because there's no Russian bias in this game. Let's just watch him dominate now. He's going to feather this shot in. That's where you got to hit an IS-7. Don't hit a track wheel because the track wheel will absorb all the explosive energy of your huge shell. And he's climbing up on the rock. No. Oh, he's got this guy up the ass. That's always nice when you shoot someone up the ass. Even in a British tank. Lower plate on the... Yes. Aside from the British female crew members, which are freaking annoying. This thing, like, look at this. This was a fun tank. It took skill to play. The rear-mounted turret made it kind of unorthodox. Watch this. He's going to feather this shot in. Beautiful. High DPM, hard-hitting gun. This was a side-scraping beast. It did have some weak spots when it's side-scraping with the turret. Now, of course, the T110E4 has the same cupola as the T110E3, except it's made of cheese, so it's not going to bounce. Oh, yeah, he destroyed him. Yeah, it's not going to bounce anything. When you're side-scraping in this thing, there are those few little weak spots on the edge of the turret there, or that little, on the hull, that little angled section, but it's hard to hit if you're moving back and forth. This was a side-scrape. This was a side-scraper! You know, there was a side-scraper in the game, and it was removed. And now there's a better Russian side-scraper. Because this is a Russian game! And there's no Russian bias at all. Why the fuck would you want to enjoy this thing? Or grind and be able to get this? Go get yourself an object! If you don't have one of these. He's not done yet. He's going to take some shots at the back of this E100. Is he going to get some shots? He can actually take a hit here. He's just going in. Oh, the gun barrel is in the way. He's got to feather that shot in. Way to go, buddy! Look at that! Huh? British power! Ace tanker! Look at that on top. He only did a little over 4,000 damage. Wasn't the greatest, but ace tanker. And he made some credits. Yeah, and if you think that was good, it was an above average game, but that's what I like to show here. Above average stuff by regular guys. How about this one? Huh? The Caernarvon drama kid from the Sioux clan. Did I say that right? Yeah, I'll tell you guys. You've got a clan member here in a Caernarvon. Who the hell owns a Caernarvon in this day and age with all the objects running around? Do you own a Caernarvon? I don't know anyone that owns a Caernarvon. Oh, it's really good hull down. Well, he doesn't get to be hull down because he's in a city map and he's going into the city. He's not even going into the middle to play the ridge line, which you can't play from the south spawn because this map is not balanced. He's going to make his way into the city, but he's going to try and feather a shot in first and kind of just waste time so that the enemy gets good position in the city before he gets there. Look where his team has gone. Most of them have gone to the southeast corner of the map to camp, and only a couple of people have made it into the city. This is an encounter, after all. The cap is in the city, so why the fuck would you go into the city? The Bat Chat has. Who else? The Charioteer, the T-44. And there's a Tiger, so I guess some of them have come. But because this is an encounter game, the majority of the team has gone to the southeast corner at the spawn and just sat there. The TDs, the CDC, everybody. Why would you go towards where the base is? After all, the object is to capture this base or kill all the enemies. You'd think that there would be a cluster of enemies around the base fighting for it, but no. No, that would be stupid. He hit someone on the move there, though. That's his first shot. No, it wasn't his first shot, but it was his first hit. And now he gets to go to work. He is not hull down, and he's doing what he should do, which is side screen. Oh, look at that. Nice shot. Nice shot. He is... You see what he's doing here? He's not poking out like a moron because he doesn't have armor. He's just got a little turret armor. It's a very difficult tank to play on this map, and he's just poked out, and he's got another hit. He is side scraping. He is going to just show his side, which is not that heavily armored. It's hard to side scrape in this thing. Doesn't have a lot of side armor. He's going to just show it hopefully at 75, 80 degrees, so it will be an auto bounce. Hopefully, unless a large caliber gun shoots him. And this Charioteer is just getting in the way. He thinks, oh, I'm going to poke out in front of you. Why do you keep moving backwards and forwards? Because he does not understand side scraping. He understands poke out and die strategy. See, there he goes. What are you doing? Your teammate is side scraping, you moron. You see what you just did? You got hit and you took damage. And your teammate did not. Except from that guy who pulled around the corner. Oh, he didn't even scratch him. Get out of the way, Charioteer. Learn to side scrape or go somewhere else. We're going to watch the boss here. Oh, he's got another one. This, all kidding aside, are you seeing what he's doing here? This is textbook, guys. This is he's got a lot of enemies that he's facing here, and he's not in a really good side-scraping tank. But he is just showing his side at such an angle that the charioteer, of course, just pokes out willy-nilly. Oh, now they're moving in on him. Oh, they bounced anyway. The charioteer pulls out sideways, gets in his way so he can't back up, of course, because that's what you want to do when your teammate is dominating this corner. You want to get in his way. Is the charioteer dead yet? No, he's still alive. He's backed off. It would almost be better if the charioteer died. He's moved out of the way. That's good. But how much has he bounced? He's bounced a lot. He's pulled out, take a shot, and the guy, it just hits the tracks. You see that? He is angled at such a degree, and now this guy's going to say, screw it, I'm coming in and shoot his side. This is what they should have done from the beginning. Is he going to get help from that charioteer now? No, the charioteer's dead, of course, because, why not? And he's got to get rid of the guy with the big gun first. Yes, he got rid of the guy with the big gun first, and now side scraping versus this Indian Panzer. Keep him tracked. Ho-ho! Oh, yeah, baby! The turret flies off the German tank. The Caernarvon. Ammo rack time, baby! I like that. Here he goes. Oh, this is a much bigger gun. Can this gun overmatch his side? I'm not sure. Well, how much side armor does a Caernarvon have? Maybe it is an amazing side scraper. I never thought it was. I thought Russian tanks could overmatch the side. Oh, and he's just moving it. This is uncharacteristic. You've been doing so well side scraping, and now you're just sitting sideways in front of a big TD. What the fuck are you doing? Track him and get behind him before he reloads. Oh! You took a big hit. What the? It was working so well side scraping. You see? Even the great players, sometimes they like, why did he go out there? And now ass to ass. Don't let him turn around. Finish him off. Oh, man. Well, you lost a little HP there. That's the only mistake. I wouldn't even call it a mistake. I think he thought that he could get around that TD before the reload, but somehow got wedged up against him sideways in the T-bone position. Is that a position? I've never tried the T-bone position myself, but this is a great Caernarvon game. Hopefully, despite the gibberish and me bantering and the British bashing and all that shit, all seriousness, folks, did you see the side scraping? Just stop watching the video now and go back and watch that 5 minutes of gameplay. And if you don't know what side scraping is, if you're one of those morons that when you see one of your teammates on a corner kind of position, you're looking at him going, what is he doing? He's backing up and he's moving forward. And you're one of those idiots that gets in the way. I'm just going to poke out in front of him, and get tracked in front of him, or heaven forbid, poke out behind him and get hit and track so he can't back up, and you're just in the way like a buffoon, like a moron, like an idiot. If you're one of those guys, go back it up and watch that 5 minutes of gameplay again, and watch what he was doing and watch what the charioteer was doing. He was doing it right. The charioteer was doing it wrong. He would have been better off if that charioteer wasn't even there, because the charioteer blocked him from taking a couple of shots. And that's the difference. You see, he positioned his tank in such a way that it was very difficult for the enemies to damage him. The charioteer positioned his tank in a way that it was very easy for the enemies to damage him, track him, immobilize him, and immobilize him in the way of his teammates. The charioteer was actually, I shouldn't be bashing the charioteer so badly here. Sorry, buddy, but that strategy on the corner actually helps your team lose. What the charioteer was doing and what the Caernarvon was doing is a winning strategy. Victory! Let's look at this. Look at that. Ace tanker in a Caernarvon steel wall, over 6,000 damage. Let's see how much damage he blocked here. Come on, let's go. Detailed report. He blocked almost 4,000 damage in a Caernarvon. Huh? And he wasn't hull down using his turret on a map with lots of ridge lines. He was in a city map using his brain side scraping like a boss. Way to go, buddy. Thanks for sending me that. I hope you guys enjoyed the 2 British tanks dominating. You know, we usually bash the British stuff here, but if you play it right, if you're a skilled player, I admit, artistic license, I like to do the bashing, but any tank, if you play it right, using the strengths, using your brain, using the skills, side scraping, hull down, all that crap. If you do it right, you can make it work. And this guy and the guy before him, they did it right. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed that.